I can't take this anymore, Ryan. Every day I see you two together and it gnaws at me. You brushed me off for him, my heart couldn't take the rejection when you told me you were into Jason. It felt like a punch to my gut and I thought things would change but they didn't. You don't get it, do you? I've watched you look at him like he's the sun, love-sick and oblivious. I felt like a ghost, just fading into the background. Do you remember the day at the cafe when you said, "He's just perfect"? I wanted to scream. You poured it all out there and I sat across from you smiling like some fool pretending it didn't hurt, like I didn't want to lay everything on the table just to show you how much I cared. You said you wanted to be honest with me, honest, but wasn't it dishonest to put me in that position? I wanted to shake you and tell you that it should have been me, that I would have done anything for just a single chance. You say it's just how it unfolded, like the universe conspired to push you two together. How poetic, you know what? It felt cursed to me. I built walls around myself, fortified my heart, and here I am still in love with you while you parade around with him. The laughter that once echoed between us feels hollow now, like leftovers from a dinner I wasn't invited to. And every time I hear your laughter, it triggers this bitter longing. I thought I could sweep it under the rug, act like I was fine with being your friend, but there's nothing friendly about it anymore. I saw you kiss him at that party. That kiss shattered my last shred of hope. Did you even see the flames ignite in me? How could you be so blind to the destruction? Do you really think I don't care? Because I feel every blow, every glance tossed between you two like daggers aimed straight at my heart. You strut into the room, and all eyes turn to you, Jason, hanging on your every word, your every movement like a hungry lioness at his first meal. And me, just a bystander watching your love story unfold in blinding brilliance while I'm left stirring in resentment. I wanted to be more than a footnote in your life, and instead I find myself anxiously counting the days since you last looked my way, hoping you'll notice the chasm tearing me apart inside. Maybe I should have screamed that day. Maybe if I had just shouted that I loved you, cried out to the universe that I was ready to do anything, to fight for a chance, we wouldn't be at this point. But I did, I bottled it all up. I should have pushed past my cowardice instead of standing there like a shadow, waiting for you to fall out of love while I foolishly fell harder. You know what stings the most? It's your ambivalence, that blithe disregard you have for my feelings. You don't even filter the way you talk about him. It's like you've slid a knife into my heart with every mention, and I can't pull it out. I'm left with nothing but bitterness echoing in my mind. I can't focus on my job anymore. The buzzing office feels like a suffocating prison. I've let my ambition drown beneath the worry of what you think, what he thinks, what everyone thinks. Do you realize the precariousness of my position? Watching the one person I wanted slip straight through my fingers, spiraling into a life I can only observe from the sidelines. And the worst, the absolute worst, is knowing I put you first always. I sacrificed my needs at every turn, bending over backwards just to keep a veneer of friendship while the tension suffocated me. I thought it would become easier, but each day it's like a new weight on my shoulders. Your joy with him only deepens my sorrow. I thought crushes didn't hurt this much. What a naive thought, this is agony. I traded my peace for the madness of unrequited love. You have no idea how many nights I've cried after scrolling through the photos of you two, loving life, and oh God, how I wish I had the guts to just walk away, but I can't. There's this tether, a connection that haunts me like a shadow I can't shake. You're here and you must know, you must see what I'm feeling when your voice cracks with laughter every time he walks into the room. Why does it have to be him? Why not take a chance on us, on what we could be? But here you are, completely unbothered, caught up in your perfect little world, and I'm left clutching the pieces of my heart that you've shattered. It's like a bad dream that won't end. I'm stuck in purgatory, neither your friend nor your lover, just a dry husk drained of everything I once was. What am I supposed to do? Smile and nod while every word you say twists the knife deeper. Because this bitterness is a poison that seeps into everything around me, and I'm terrified that if I say anything, you'll lose faith in me as your friend. But I can't take it any longer, I really can't. So what happens now, huddled in this limbo of unrequited feelings while you skip off happily into your future with him? Or do I confront this head on, wrangle the truth from the depths of my chest and demand you look at me, really look at me? Maybe then you'd see. Maybe then you'd realize you've left me behind in the dust while you race ahead toward a future I never wanted to miss. I wish I could rewind back to when we were just us, before this jealousy took root, before your affection became someone else's claim. But no, I won't fade quietly into obscurity, not anymore. You've got to be kidding me, you really think this is okay? I told you I liked him and you. Listen, it just happened. I didn't mean to hurt you. I never thought you were serious about him. How could you not think I was serious? I've spent every waking moment drooling over him and you just waltz in like you own the place. You never even asked me how I felt. We're all adults here, right? This is just a crush, nothing more. You act like I've stolen your heart or something so dramatic. Just a crush, is that what you call it? This isn't just about some teenage fantasy, this is my life. You let me pour my heart out to you while you giggled behind my back. And now you expect me to sit here and be fine with you dating him. It's not like I sought you out to hurt you. We weren't dating. You have to understand that. I don't have to understand anything. You chose him. You chose him over our friendship, and now you want me to jump on your little hearts and flowers bandwagon. I didn't choose him over you. It just evolved. Can't you see that? It's not so black and white. Not black and white. Well, here's a revelation for you. It feels pretty damn black and white from where I'm standing. You think glossing over my feelings with excuses makes this okay? What do you think this is, some teenage drama where everyone walks away unscathed? Oh, give me a break. You're making this way more dramatic than it needs to be. If anyone's being dramatic, it's you. You need to calm down. Calm down. You want me to calm down after you've twisted a knife into my back. I was vulnerable with you and you took that and threw it away. Look at us, we were thick as thieves, and now what? Now I'm supposed to just smile while you flaunt him in front of my face. How is that friendship? How is it friendship to try and dictate who I can date? You're acting selfish. Selfish, you're calling me selfish while you're the one dating my crush without a second thought. This isn't just about who I want, it's about decency. You're not even sorry, are you? I didn't know you wanted it that badly. It's not like you were throwing yourself at him. Of course I was subtle. I didn't want to make things weird, but I thought you would get it. I thought you cared about me. You say we're adults, but honestly this feels like something straight out of a middle school play. You act like you own him, like he's some possession for you to guard. He isn't your property and neither am I. You need to let go. Let go of my emotions. Sorry, that's not how it works. You think this is easy for me. Watching you steal everything I wanted, everything we laughed about together. It's the ultimate betrayal. You're being melodramatic again. I'm just living my life. You need to figure out how to let others in without putting chains on them. Chains? I'm not the one who wrapped someone else's feelings into a bow and tossed them aside. Your free-spirited live and let live attitude comes off as cold and emotionless. What about loyalty? What about being a friend? Don't twist this into something it's not. You're the one who's choosing to wallow in despair instead of celebrating something beautiful happening between us. You're allowed to be upset, but why is it a crime for me to be happy? I'm not asking you to be miserable, I'm begging you to be decent. And trust me, it's hard to celebrate the beauty of two people while I'm standing in the wreckage of my own heartbreak. And acting this way isn't going to heal it. Stop painting me as the villain. I didn't know. You never opened up enough for me to realize how deeply you felt. Then you were never a friend to begin with. After all the secrets we shared, you took advantage of my vulnerability for a thrill. You're walking away with no remorse and it's infuriating. I never meant to take advantage, it's a matter of timing. Sometimes things develop in ways we can't control and I'm sorry that it hurts you, but you can't have this entitlement. Entitlement, is that what you think this is? I'm not asking for a castle, just a shattering respect. What you and he have can't thrive on destruction, and it sure as hell won't flourish on the ashes of a friendship you obliterated. What do you want from me? I can't unfall for him because it offends your feelings. I can't, just let me live my life. And what about mine? I don't see you lifting a finger to assess the damage you've caused. You just want to profess your love and have happy-go-lucky romantic moments, but you haven't even thought about how you'd feel if our roles were reversed. That's not fair. This is about love, not some stupid altering of roles. Love, is that what you're calling this? Because if I ever felt this way about someone, I would have asked you first, even if it was uncomfortable. This isn't just some game and you can't just toss feelings around like confetti. You need to get a grip. Life's about choices and we all make them, even if they hurt. Hurt, right? Well, congratulations, you've played this part beautifully, but at what cost? You needed trinkets and now I'm left clinging to shards of a friendship I thought would withstand anything. You think I'm a heartless monster. It's not my fault you didn't tell me sooner. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and face the damage you've done. Because once you take sides, there's no going back. Not for you, not for me. Maybe it was all just too much too fast. Maybe I never really understood, but you're right, there is no going back. I've always thought there was an unbreakable bond, a synergy in that space between ambition and desire. But here I am staring at the digital screen blinking back at me, my pulse drumming in my ears as if it were mocking me. I've finally made it, executive transfer approved. All those late nights and awkward meetings, and for what? For a seat where I can look down at the very people I once called peers, including him. Can you believe it? I say almost to myself, though the air feels heavy with expectation. I mean, last week I was desk-bound, drowning in paperwork, and now I'm on the top floor with a view that could crush souls. And I shake my head in disbelief. His face flashes in my mind, the way he smiled, the way laughter danced in his eyes when we used to banter late into the night. Memories twisted and turned like the serpents in the pit of my stomach. Keep it professional, I remind myself, but what does that even mean? Now I'm his boss. My fingers tap rhythmically on the desk, a staccato beat that carries my thoughts. There's power in this role. Power to shape conversations, to redirect projects, to build or break what I once thought was unshakable. He strides in, confident, oblivious to the internal storm brewing inside of me. Congrats on the promotion. Guess you'll be sending my market analysis to the shredder when you disagree. I feel a flicker of anger rise. How dare he? I wouldn't need to shred anything if your work stood up to scrutiny, but keep it up, I could use a punching bag. Touché, but you know this doesn't change anything, he says, leaning against the doorframe, casual as if he's still the same guy who once told me I was the funniest person he knew. You're still you, and I'm sorry, but I'm still me. Just with a title. So how does it feel? I shoot back, irritation sparking, but there it is, an undeniable sting. To know that someone you thought you had in your pocket is now out of reach, to watch your best friend take what you thought was yours. His eyes narrow, challenging me. I didn't take anything. It's not like you came to me and said, "You're right," I cut him off, voice laced with venom. I didn't say anything, I just watched you throw me aside the moment I dared to feel something deeper. You thought I was just some phase, didn't you? Maybe you were, he retorts, crossing his arms defensively as if I've dealt a physical blow. I was with someone else, you knew I liked her. Yes, I can't help but scoff, but the way you went about it, turning everything upside down, leaving me in the dust, was selfish. You don't get to pretend you didn't see the mess you made. I wasn't playing heart games, I was just trying to find my way. He steps forward, heavy with emotion, and I can see this is hurting him too, a chain pulling us both into something we can't escape. Just like you trying to prove something at work. Maybe to me, but mostly to yourself. This isn't just a business transfer, is it? This is personal. I swallow hard, suddenly keenly aware of how my walls and my facade are starting to crack. Fine, let's make it personal then. You say I'm trying to prove something. Let's see how well you'll prove yourself when I'm sending those reports for approval. Is that how it is? The turmoil flashes across his face, a mix of disbelief and something more profound, regret. You're going to turn this into a power struggle. I already have. Get used to it. My voice rises sharply, echoing through the high-rise office like gunfire, and for a second I see the tension crystallize around us, thick and almost electric. I'm not going to be the victim here, not anymore. Then you'll let the power corrupt you, he challenges. This isn't you, you've always been the one who valued relationships over anything else. You know how destructive this can get, you're playing a dangerous game. My heart races, this is a battle I see no clear end for. Life isn't a fairy tale, I can't be the easy choice anymore. The silence stretches, both of us breathing heavily, caught in the tempest of our choices. I don't want to back down, but the thought of breaking everything we once had gnaws at me. He looks at me, eyes softening just a hint, and I feel that old, familiar tether pulling. Can't we just what? I lash out, fury and sorrow entwined like staircases leading nowhere. Be friends, is that even possible? After you, after everything. His gaze intensifies, and I can see the man I once adored breaking through the hard shell he's formed since our worlds collided. I didn't mean to hurt you, I chose a path, maybe you should have chosen me. Spare me, you did what felt right at the moment, we both know it, I say, cutting through the air thick with unresolved feelings. But I won't walk into this new role with you behind me swaying my decisions. That'll never happen again. Then what? You'd rather I find a way to compete rather than to collaborate. His voice trembles, resignation creeping in. That's not who we are, isn't it? I shot back, heart racing as the chaos rages on around us, emotions escalating with an intensity I never expected. We're not that anymore. This is the new foundation where ambition turns us into rivals. Ambition or revenge? His eyes narrow again, penetrating my defenses. Let's stop pretending this isn't personal. And let the past dictate my future. No. I stand there, heart in my throat, decisions hanging precariously between us. We both know it's a slippery slope, the game is far from over. I knew the moment I stepped into that boardroom. My demeanor had shifted from the hesitant junior staff member to the commanding presence that could turn the tides. The tension throbbed in the air, thickening the atmosphere as I took my seat at the head of the table. Every eye was on me, watching, measuring my resolve. I relished this moment, this power that surged through my veins like electricity. So let's address the numbers, I declared, my voice slicing through the murmurs. We're falling behind because we're personally invested in decisions, and that's no longer acceptable. The silence that followed was a knife's edge, everyone caught off guard. But why should we consider your approach? Someone queried, disbelief laced in their tone. You lack experience. Experience. I snapped back, feeling the heat of anger flare at their challenge. Stripped of all emotional ties, I can see the situation so much clearer than any of you. Didn't anyone here learn from last quarter's disaster? It's time we stop coddling each other and start making tough choices. In that moment, I felt invincible. Memories of past insecurities faded like shadows against the brilliance of my newfound authority. They had scoffed and dismissed me when I harbored feelings for someone I considered a friend. But now, standing at the precipice of control, I could redefine who I was and how I was perceived. The power wasn't just in the position, it was in the recognition of my worth. But you don't understand the dynamics at play, a voice countered, irritation peppering his words. It was the very man who had chosen my crush over me, his presence still a stain on my heart. You think projecting confidence will mask your lack of insight. You're not ready for this. Then tell me, I challenged, leaning forward, what insight do you believe you possess that I lack? The insight that led you to reject me, or the insight that you still think governs your time here? He flinched, eyes narrowing. I was pushing buttons, I could feel it. Personal feelings aside, you shouldn't let your grudges dictate our strategy. Grudges, you think it's a grudge? I laughed, though it wasn't a funny joke. What do you know about grudges? This isn't personal for me, it's pragmatic. If pushing you out of the decision-making process is what it takes to salvage this company, then so be it. The entire room shifted, heads turning like a pendulum, weighing the fallout of my words. How could they not understand? This was liberation in disguise. I was no longer an object of desire, I was becoming their inevitable leader. A leader who wouldn't hesitate to sever ties with those unfit for the real game. A leader who knew that trust could easily morph into betrayal. We need to streamline our budget and cut unnecessary luxuries that are draining our resources. Every lavish dinner, every frippery must end today. A few murmurs of dissent rose into the atmosphere, but I held my head high, readying myself for pushback. You say that like we don't appreciate morale, one of them ventured, eyes wide with defiance. What do you propose, calculators and spreadsheets over solidarity? If solidarity means sinking this ship, then yes, I shot back, heat igniting within me like a wildfire. What you call camaraderie, I call incompetence. The cozy little bubble of friendship isn't worth drowning for. Surprised gasps echoed around the table, the intensity tangible. A beat passed as we exchanged glances, I could see it shifting in their eyes. Sensing weakness, I forged ahead. You may have known me as the girl with her heart on her sleeve, but that girl is dead. This is who I am now, a woman on a mission, and I will not concede to those who are better at playing games than fixing problems. Are you even aware of the ramifications of this? He raised an eyebrow, attempting to project authority yet faltering under my gaze. The tables had turned and his own discomfort seeped through the cracks in his bravado. Ramifications, you mean the consequences from your ineptitude. What do you think happens when I begin executing my plans? Your ranks will crumble and I'll emerge more than just a figurehead, I'll be your superior. Laughter erupted, some raw and disbelieving, others tense and nervous. And you think you can lead? Disbelief lingered in the air like smoke. You're making a mistake with your recklessness. This isn't just a popularity contest. Nor is it a choice I take lightly. I snapped, my fingers gripping the table's edge, knuckles white. You think you're in my head, cut me and I'll bleed tenacity. This is about survival and I will do what it takes to keep us afloat. It's easy to talk when you haven't faced the consequences, he returned, an edge of bitterness leaking through. I learned the hard way, sometimes loyalty counts more than numbers on a piece of paper. Loyalty, the irony stung. And where did that loyalty lead you? To another emotional entanglement with someone who clearly saw me as a stepping stone. Look around. Loyalty doesn't pay the bills, nor does it build empires. Knowledge does, strategy does, and ultimately power does. We stood there in silence, breaths held and hearts racing, aware that the tide had changed irretrievably. I eyed him, gauging the facade of bravado falling away, revealing fear of losing the only status he had clung to. So beware. The moment you let personal feelings cloud your judgment, you risk losing everything. And I'm no longer the collateral damage. I'm the one pulling the strings. And just like that, I gripped the reins of the inevitable, the once broken girl now standing as the architect of her destiny. A new dawn unfurled before me, and the brilliant burn of ambition filled the void. Left by heartache, no longer would I be seen as meek. I was ready to take what was rightfully mine. What the hell are you doing here? The words shot out like a bullet, unfiltered and raw, cutting through the tense atmosphere of the staff room. I could ask you the same, he shot back, eyes blazing with a mixture of defiance and confusion. This is a workplace, and last I checked, I wasn't the one who created this toxic environment. Toxic? You think I've made it toxic? The incredulity in her voice was palpable. How dare he shift the blame? Let's not pretend. You weren't my biggest fan the last time we met, or is it just me who's not welcomed here anymore? A palpable silence fell between them, the tension thick enough to slice through with a knife. She felt the heat rise to her cheeks, heated memories flashing before her eyes, memories of laughter shared, of moments that never should have led to this. It's not about personal feelings anymore, okay? This is about professionalism. She struggled to keep her voice steady, flinging her hands up in exasperation. But tell me, how's it feel, living in someone else's shadow while they take the girl you threw away? You think you know everything. Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? You chose him over me, abandoned the very friendship we had, and now you come striding in here like you own the place. He scoffed, a bitter laugh escaping his lips that sent a shiver down her spine. And you think you've won something. Power doesn't equal happiness. You're just another cog in the machine now. The room felt like it was closing in on her. The walls seemed to close ranks as memories flooded back. Rejection morphing into ambition, transformed into spite. She could hardly recognize herself anymore. You don't know the first thing about what I sacrificed to get here. Sacrificed what? Your dignity. This whole setup is just a facade, a pathetic little game you think you're winning at. But here's a news flash for you. You're on borrowed time. Time, she spat back, narrowing her gaze. This isn't about time, this is about who's in control. You gave that up. You handed it on a silver platter to your best friend. He stepped closer, the heat radiating off him like an ignition point. And you think your promotion makes you better than us. You think you're his equal. Wake up. To him, you're a challenge, a distraction. Once he gets bored, where will you stand? Excuse me for wanting to move forward. Unlike you, I don't dwell in the past. I'm trying to build something. To build or to destroy, because this seems more like vengeance at play than a career move. Her heart raced, a mix of fury and anguish swirling inside her. I'm not looking for revenge. I'm trying to make a name for myself in this world where people like you throw away opportunities like pieces of trash. His derisive smirk fell away, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. You want to make a name for yourself, huh? But what if it's built on the ruins of other people's happiness? What if your very success results in someone else's downfall? It's a dog-eat-dog world. If you can't handle that, then maybe you shouldn't have played this game at all. Me, play games, spare me. I'm trying to correct a wrong, and yes, it begins with confronting you. You don't even know what I've been through. Her voice grew louder, words tumbling out like an uncontrollable avalanche. You think this is easy for me. One moment I'm heartbroken and the next I'm dragging myself up from the ashes, and it's hell because I can't confide in anyone, not even you. Then why are you acting like we're enemies when we were once friends? Why this hostility? You threw everything away, you had your chance and you chose your best friend, you brought this on yourself. Fine, he snapped back, but was it ever really about him? Or were you just insecure about your worth in my life? Always trying to prove you were better. Better than what? Better than who? I wanted you to see me not as some secondary option but as someone who mattered, and you destroyed that with your choices. Listen, he moved even closer, voices rising in symphony with their rapid pulse. I was blinded by stupid teenage fears, and maybe I lost sight of what was right in front of me, but that doesn't mean you get to destroy everything in retaliation. It's petty, petty. The word hit harder than intended, and she stumbled momentarily, processing the accusation in the fracture of silence that followed. What do you even know about petty? You call me petty because I'm trying to stand my ground in a world that's against me. You lack the very essence of growth. I was younger then, he defended bitterly. Don't act like we're from different planets now. We were all careless. I've grown, but you're still stuck in a loop. It's the same narrative, heartbreak leading to reckless ambition without any real purpose. Purpose, she gasped at his audacity. You think I don't know what that is? This isn't some mindless game to me. I have fought to be here, every decision shaping who I am at this moment, and you act as if I'm still the naive girl who fell for you years ago. You may have fought, but at what cost? You think your power and position will fill the emptiness of your choices? Don't hide behind a desk to cover your insecurities. I'm not hiding. The anger pulsed through her veins. The fire between them was no longer just conflict. It morphed into something explosive and raw, pushed by their past intertwining with the present pain. "You're a coward in a suit," he roared, refusing to relent. "And you're a fool in denial," she fired back, the accusation bitter on her tongue. Silence fell again, but this time it lingered, heavy, suffocating, as both stared down the jagged path of their crumbled relationship, no longer friends but not yet enemies, teetering on the edge of a precipice neither could have imagined. "We're never finished," he finally said. "Neither am I," and with that she stepped back, the distance between them marked by an invisible boundary. A confrontation that revealed their truths but also the insatiable hunger for victory that twisted the knife deeper into wounds left to fester. "I didn't think you'd actually go through with it. Leaving your dreams, your future, all for a fling. It wasn't just a fling. You never understood that what we had was real. Real. Tell me, how does one real moment justify throwing away everything?" "It's a joke, right? The moment he walked away from you, all of this turned absurd. You think I care about that? You think I made this choice lightly? The stakes are too high. Look around, your new office, your team. You're at the top of the food chain now, and for what? A chance to rewrite my story. I've earned this position through blood, sweat, and tears. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? You've always coasted. It's not about coasting. It's about knowing when to hold on and when to let go. What happens when this dream of yours crashes down? When he disappoints you like he did before? You think I'm so naive that I can't make my own choices without your input. I'm more than someone's shadow. I'm not defined by this past. Then why does it seem like every move you make is still dictated by him? Why does it feel like you're just a player in his game? Look at you. The moment you got that promotion, you couldn't wait to get back to him. Maybe I just want to prove I'm more than what we used to be. But you wouldn't understand. You've always had it easy. I've climbed every rung of this ladder, and the only people trying to pull me down have been the ones closest to me. And at what cost? You think dressing up this fake confidence will erase the history? One look at him and it all comes flooding back in, doesn't it? The laughter, the tears, the heartbreak. How long before you find yourself just spiraling back to him again? Maybe it isn't about erasing it. Maybe it's about turning that pain into strength, into purpose. Maybe you can't see that because you're so obsessed with being against it all. You talk about strength. There's nothing strong about chasing after someone who's shown you his back. What you're doing isn't ambition, it's desperation. You think you can change his mind, win him over with your success. Guess what? He's never going to change who he is for you. You're just going to be the rebound he never wanted. I'm not asking for his approval. I'm not doing this for him. I am ambitious. I am driven. Unlike you, I won't get soft just because of a silly crush. Silly crush, you make it sound so trivial. This isn't just a passing fancy. This is the core of who you are. You're on this mission to prove you're worth something beyond him. But you know what's worse? The fact that you think success means nothing without him recognizing it. That's not true. I am building something for myself, whether he acknowledges it or not. But it matters to you, does it haunts you, the thought of him with someone else. You sit up in this shiny office, drowning in spreadsheets, but your heart is still stuck in that small-town love story. You need to let him go. What do you want me to say? That I don't care at all, that I haven't thought about his rejection every single day? You insist I'm not ambitious when it's been my ambition that kept me going. I refuse to be defined by his choices. Then stop letting him win. He's taken too much from you already. Choice is yours. Grovel after a boy who only wants your best friend, or seize this opportunity to break into the upper echelons without him as your crutch, but make that decision decisive. You really think I should burn that bridge? What if he's the key to something greater? The connections he offers, the doors he can open. I can't just turn my back on that. Or you can build your own bridges. You have a real chance here. Why are you so fixated on him? You're doing this for approval that will never come. Have you considered all you've worked for? Everything on the line. You have a chance to stand alone, and here you are wanting to drag him along. Do you hear what you're saying? It's not about dragging him along. I thought you understood that I want to share this with him, not compromise it. It's about mutual triumph, about fighting the darkness together. Together, and yet you're the only one fighting. Does he even see you? Does he know the lengths you've gone through just to showcase your value? Stop pretending you want him on your team when he's been the enemy all along. The truth is, he's happy to play his part, but he won't see you as anything more than the girl he turned down. Stop it, you've crossed the line now. You think you have a right to lecture me about love, about ambition. Look in the mirror. You're not some seasoned expert. You're afraid of stepping out into the light without someone else holding your hand. Maybe I'm speaking from experience. Maybe, just maybe, the hurt isn't something you overcome by pretending it doesn't exist. You're running back into fire with a dream. You have a choice: accept the hurt or take this chance to redefine everything. Honestly, I'm exhausted of running from something that simply refuses to die. And maybe, just maybe, I'm not willing to completely sever ties for the sake of ambition. Just know this: if you choose him, it will be a long fall. The choice you make now will haunt you. Do you really want that? You think I'm scared, I'm terrified, yes, but it's either face the fall or stay stagnant. If you choose fear, you're already defeated. Then take this warning: every moment chasing after him will be a moment you don't reclaim for yourself. So when you do get knocked down, don't cry for me, cry for the you that could have been. Choose wisely. This is my life, my battle. I'm wearing my scars like armor, but I refuse to lose myself amidst all the chaos. I'll find my way, even if it means wading through the storm. But know this: it is my storm to weather, my choice to make. You think this is easy for me? Just because I wear the boss title doesn't mean I've forgot. Every morning it's like a slap in the face, walking into this office and there he is. I should be furious, I should hate him, but I can't. It's infuriating. Did you think I'd just roll over, let it go? You took my heart, my trust, and threw it into a dumpster fire. I had dreams, ambitions, and then you go ahead and pick him. Your best friend. Why not stab me right in the back, huh? But here I am in charge of everything, making decisions while biting my tongue so I don't drag this whole place down with my anger. Honestly, what do you even have to say for yourself? How could you trade our friendship for something so fleeting? What, a couple of dates? Is he really worth it? I built this, I worked my fingers to the bone, and now I feel like I'm controlling a time bomb filled with ticking resentment. And what about the rest of the team? You think they don't notice the tension, the way I barely acknowledge you in meetings? They whisper behind my back, what's up with the boss and the employee? They don't see the betrayal hanging heavy in the air, suffocating me. I'm an emotional wreck, but do you think anyone cares about my broken heart? See as the power struggle. They want to pounce, take advantage of the growing cracks in my facade. Look at us now, everything feels like a contest, and it shouldn't be this way. I don't want to envy your relationship with him, but here I am, knee-deep in a mess because all I can see are glimpses of you two together. You've got that affection I once craved, yet here I am managing your career and pretending it's all just business. Do you think I enjoy this? What happens if I choose you two over my ambition? Am I just going to throw everything away? All the late nights, the stress, fighting to be promoted while you two play house. What if I take the plunge and let you back into my life? What gut-wrenching betrayal awaits me this time? I've already been burned, and now I'm supposed to stand there, watch you float through life with someone who's supposed to be my confidant. But what if I shut you out completely? Can I honestly stand here, cut you off like you never existed in my life? No comfort zone, no more late-night talks. The boss who turned her back on her closest friend, a friend who chose to make a fool out of me. It's a heavy weight, it's as if you're wrapped around my neck, suffocating me with the choice. I sit at that desk, and every time I make a decision, your face haunts me. I see you smiling, laughing. Do you see me? I'm drowning here. Shouldn't this job be about loyalty, about having my back, not being manipulated by feelings? I should be thinking about reports, marketing strategies, growing this damn company, but I'm constantly trapped in this cycle of what-ifs. What would happen if I could let go? If I pretended that none of it mattered anymore, that you and he were just two competing shadows? Could I honestly push through, smile, be the powerhouse I'm known to be, despite him waiting to stab my career right where it hurts? But that would mean giving you up, practically erasing the history we had. And what would you do then? Fade away. Go full throttle with him. Is it that easy for you? No, I can't ignore the loyalty that doesn't exist anymore, the betrayal that curls up in my gut whenever I think about you two. I can't afford to have ignorance eat me from the inside out. So here I stand, a ticking time bomb trying to navigate a maze. If only you could see the woman I've become. If only you could understand how every interaction cuts deeper. And then there's the team, oh the team. They must choose sides quietly, gossiping among themselves. The whispers grow louder during our meetings, confusion bubbling beneath the surface. Do they support me or do they pity me? Should I fear involvement or trust them with my scars? Every decision I make now carries weight beyond the numbers. Sometimes I wonder if it's all worth it. Maybe if I just walked away, let it all crash and burn, standing up with my pride intact. But that would mean handing everything over to the both of you. Handing over control, my power, my leadership. I can't let that happen. I cannot let this mess dictate my career. This isn't just about a rivalry or an affair, it's about everything I've built. But every time I stare out of my office window, I see your reflection in the glass, him with his stupid smile wrapped around your future. It sickens me to think that I let my feelings render me powerless. So here I am in the eye of the storm, with you two swirling around me while I drown in the chaos between friends and career. Choices become shackles, and every second adds more weight. I have to decide which will break me first, the job or the heart. But know this: I will come out of this fight and I will emerge strong. I'll conquer this chaos, unwilling to fall victim to my heartbreak. I will find a way, but don't think for 1 second I'm letting either of you go easily. This is a game and I'll play to win. You really thought you could walk back in here after everything, just like that, like none of this matters. It matters to me, does it? Because it never seemed to matter when you chose him over me. You left me standing there, heart on my sleeve, watching you hand your affection to someone who didn't deserve it. You made your choice. It was complicated, you know how it is. Complicated, that's your excuse. What's complicated is trying to understand how you could just throw away our friendship for a moment of passion that was doomed from the start. I was there for you. I put everything aside and you gave it all to him. Stop it, you think I wanted it to end up this way? I didn't ask for any of this. But here we are, you're back and I'm your boss now. How's that for irony? You once held the reins of my heart and now I hold your paycheck. How does it feel to be so vulnerable? Vulnerable? Please, this isn't about me feeling vulnerable. This is about you hiding behind your position, using it as a shield. You think that makes you stronger. Stronger? Oh, you really don't get it. Strength isn't found in title. It's about not being afraid to confront the fallout of your choices. I stood in your shadow for years, always second best, until I decided to break the cycle. You're acting like I wanted this. You wanted to compete and compete? No, I wanted love. I wanted what we had, but you dismissed it like yesterday's news. You jumped ship when it was convenient. I didn't just jump ship, it was turbulent. Do you think I didn't wrestle with this, the guilt, the confusion? I chose him because I thought. You thought wrong. What's easier, chasing a dream or facing the truth? The truth is I never stood a chance, not against your fantasy. You wanted the hero and I was just the sidekick. You turned your back when I needed you most and now you're acting like everything is fine. Don't twist this. Just because I made one mistake doesn't mean I deserve to be treated like this. I'm trying to fix it. Can't we at least talk like adults? Talk about what? How you wrecked our friendship, how your choices left scars that took years to heal. You'd rather erase those years because it's convenient for you now that I'm in this position. That's not fair. Do you think this was easy for me? I lost my best friend too, you know. I didn't just lose you, I lost me in the process. I've had to claw my way back from guilt. Guilt doesn't even scratch the surface. You think my heart wasn't shattered. You think I didn't feel betrayed every single day. Only now do you come crawling back like nothing happened. I have a right to feel angry. Then be angry, but don't pin it all on me. I'm not the villain here, I'm just trying to survive. Can't you see that you've changed too, this angry version of you? It's not who you were, you used to be so hopeful, so hopeful. Hope was a luxury I couldn't afford after you ripped it away. Do you understand how it felt to be out in the cold while you paraded around with him? The world kept turning and I was the only one standing still. Hope was buried the night you chose him. I never paraded anything and I didn't know how much it would hurt you. If I could go back, I would. You can't go back, but you can face what you did. It's time to grapple with the fallout. You've made your bed and now you're going to lie in it. I won't carry your burden any longer. So what, you're just going to shut me out? You think you can erase us and walk away unscathed? No, I can't erase us, but I can redefine what we are. You don't get to dictate the terms of our relationship anymore, not after the way you treated me. Redefine? You think turning the tables gives you power? This isn't a game. I'm not a pawn in your strategy. Then stop treating me like one. You want to rebuild? Then act like it means something. Quit looking for shortcuts for easy fixes. Stop relying on your charm to sweep me off my feet and tell me something real, anything. I don't know if I can. I thought I was doing the right thing. I still want you. Want, is that all it is for you? A flicker of desire? Do you know how many times I've had to bury that burning hope? It's suffocating to even hear that word come from your lips. I don't have to write every chapter of my life to prove anything. I made my choices and I regret them. But this is about more than regrets, it's about healing. Can't we at least be honest, please? Honest? All I can be is honest. I'm angry, hurt, and every other thing you forced me to swallow. And now here you are, acting like this is casual. This isn't just about feelings, this is about trust. You broke it and I'll be damned if I enable you to break it again. So what now? I just walk away. Have you decided that my sincerity isn't worth the effort? I decide nothing. You want the chance. Prove to me that you are here for the right reasons, not just to reclaim a piece of what you lost. Show me you're ready to fight alongside me instead of against me. I'll do whatever it takes, just give me a chance. Then start by respecting the ground you once trampled. I'm not your fallback plan. I refuse to be second best again. I can't believe you actually thought we could just go back to normal after everything. Normal? You think I wanted any of this? You think I intended to fall for him? Your feelings don't justify your decision. You put everything at risk. You put us at risk. Us? What was us to you? A game? A pathetic little crush you strung along for laughs, because that's how it looked from where I'm standing. You think this is funny. This is my career on the line. You chose him over me and now I have to see you every single day remind me of the worst mistake of my life. Every day, oh please save the pity party, you never even gave me a chance to speak. You stomped on my heart and my self-respect in one go, and now I'm the villain. Villain, you want to talk about villains? Right now you're the one holding the cards, you're my boss. How am I supposed to respect you when respect is exactly what you tossed aside? In case you hadn't noticed, I didn't get to choose this situation either. I was thrust into the position of your boss because you went behind my back, betraying not just me but our entire team. Don't pretend you're holier than me. You've done your fair share of stabbing. Scott was your best friend. The fact that you thought I'd just roll over and act like nothing happened is ludicrous. Will you stop bringing Scott into this like he's some kind of innocent bystander? He's not the one who had the guts to break my heart. No, that was all you. Breaking hearts is one thing, how about the backstabbing? You were the one who hid your true feelings. You think I wanted to fight for a chance with someone who was crushing on my best friend. And maybe I wouldn't have been hiding so much if I hadn't been worried about ruining the friendship. That's what relationships do, they complicate everything and you had to complicate it even more. Complicate, how about annihilate? Everything we had was obliterated the moment you chose him. Your ambition, your friendship, my feelings, they were all collateral damage from your reckless decisions. Collateral, you're the one who wouldn't own up to what was going on. You kept me in the dark while you paraded around with him like everything was fine. Fine, do you think it's fine now that I'm in charge? You think it's easy seeing you two together, laughing, pretending like I didn't exist? It's hell. Guess what? I'm back to treating you like any other employee. This isn't about friendship anymore, it's business now. And in business, emotions and history get thrown out the window. Business, you think a cold, aloof relationship is going to save us, because it won't. More walls just build a stronger foundation for resentment and regret. Regret, I put myself out there. I opened my heart, and while I was blocked by both you and Scott, you went celebrating your supposed acquittal in my absence. I was trying to move on. What was I supposed to do? Sit in my apartment and mourn the friendship we had left? That would accomplish nothing, least of all for my sanity. Sanity? You think you're the only one thinking about mental health? Guess what? My mental health has taken a free fall since the moment I saw you two together. You did that to me. And I'm sorry you're hurting, but it won't solve anything to keep bringing the ghost of our past everywhere you go. We need to rise above this. Rise above. You act like you weren't the catalyst of this entire mess. You had all the power and you used it. You turned our world upside down and you lived in denial. You played a role, you acted like everything was fine when it was far from it. We were friends torn apart by unspoken feelings and you think I enjoy this. Did you ever once consider how I felt? How I fought to justify my confidence after getting rejected? It was an act, a show. I played it off because I didn't want anyone to know how hard you made me fall. I didn't want to let you see the cracks. So in the end, this was just another part of the game to you, wasn't it? Because clearly none of this matters now, not your jobs, not our emotions, nothing. Don't put it all on me. You think I'm thriving here. Every glance in the office only reminds me of your infamous choice. You act like power is what I wanted, but maybe I didn't want this at all. And you think I'm relishing in this power. This feels like wielding a double-edged sword, one side to cut through the mess you left behind and the other to bleed from the wounds you created. How am I supposed to lead you when I can't even lead myself? Maybe we need to talk about how to find a new middle ground then. If this weird game of chess is how we'll exist, maybe that needs redefining. Redefining relationships requires us to be honest, both with ourselves and with each other. Do we want to let this consume us, or can we find a way to respect the boundaries of what once was? Healing takes time and I'm not ready for forgiveness yet. But if we're forced to be in each other's lives, then maybe it's time we figure out how to coexist as more than just rivals. Coexist, but never forget who we are. Only when we own our mistakes can we hope to redefine where we stand. The path forward might be bumpy, but we can pave it together step by step. Look at what we've become. Rivals, enemies, strangers. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Yeah, well, not everything goes as planned, does it? You took your shot and it missed, but why drag me into your mess? Please, it's not like I asked you to be his consolation prize. I was vulnerable with you and you just took that and threw it back in my face. You didn't care about the connection we had, you just wanted to win him. Win, is that how you see it? Like I'm some trophy to collect? Maybe I saw something in him that you never did. He was always there for me even when you were. That's rich coming from you. After the way you shattered my trust, I should have never crossed that line and thought you were different. I was naive to think loyalty meant something to you. You don't get to turn this into my mistake. You think you're the only one who was hurt. The fallout didn't just sting for you. I had to watch you brush off our friendship for your ambition. You climbed over my back to reach some imaginary throne and I was left in your dust. So maybe we both lost, but it's not going to change the past. You can't rewrite history just because you're standing on the top now. You got the promotion and I get it, you think that makes you superior. It's not just about the title, it's about independence, about proving I'm not just the girl pinning after the wrong guy. You saw me as the second choice, but this job, it's proof I'm more than that. It's my time to flourish, and frankly, it's about damn time. Write and use your power to push me down further. Congratulations on your ascendance, but don't pretend you've won a victory when you've lost a friend. Maybe I never lost you, and maybe I'm just tired of fighting. Maybe neither of us should have put ourselves in a position where we saw each other as opponents. This wasn't supposed to be a battlefield, but look at us. So what now? We shake hands and pretend this is water under the bridge. You got everything you wanted at my expense. I can't just forget that. It's more than a friendly lose-lose situation. I didn't want it to turn out this way. You know that I did. I thought we could both thrive, but I see now what I was blind to. I should have realized ambition isn't a case of one over the other. I thought we were in this together. Together, you think it was ever really about supporting anyone else when you shattered our foundation? Come on, look at the wreckage. How do you expect me to trust you again, knowing you chose your own pride over everything we built? I'm not asking you to trust me blindly, but I do want to clear the air. We're both hurt, but aren't we tired of this pattern? All the resentment. Can't we at least acknowledge we both played our parts? Yeah, I'll give you that, we did. But what does that mean moving forward? I can't pretend I'm on the same side anymore and act like this isn't a struggle daily. I know it's messy, but after everything we've thrown at each other, doesn't it feel exhausting? Maybe it's time to redefine our path. You're not my enemy and I refuse to make you one. Let's find common ground. This isn't just a job for me, it's time for us to reclaim our lives from this toxicity. Common ground. What does that even look like now? I never envisioned a world where you were my boss and I was still tied up in the baggage of our past. You really think we can manage this without more wounds? The scales are tipped more than I can handle. I'm willing to set my ego aside, but not letting go of my integrity. I believe we can challenge ourselves to work collaboratively. It doesn't have to be cutthroat. You have skills that can complement mine. We can transcend this unless you're comfortable with staying stuck. Are you really willing to put in the work? Because here's the deal, my resentment isn't going away overnight. I just can't shift gears from anger to harmony that easily. You need to face the consequences of your choices first. It's fair, I'll own it. I won't sugarcoat my actions, but I believe we can acknowledge our mistakes and build something out of the rubble. Unlike before, this partnership could be invigorated with lessons learned, a fresh start. Together we can embrace growth instead of regret. Fresh start, I mean, is it really that simple? I never pegged you as someone who'd be up for the challenge, but alright, I'll listen. If you're earnest about building a new dynamic, count me in for a dialogue. Then let's begin that conversation. You aren't the enemy. You're my colleague, at least for now, and I hope we can tame this storm together. Together. It's a start, I guess, but don't think I'm going to let you off easy. I'm ready to talk, but I won't walk into another trap. Your power may have shifted, but I refuse to be consumed by anger anymore. Agreed, it's time we traded rivalry for respect. Now let's turn this ashes into something we both can rise from. Fair enough, this is a new battlefield, but for a different kind of victory.